I'm here to call time on the expression, I'll start on Monday. I'll start on Monday, or I'll start again on Monday, or I'll start next month, or it'll wait till New Year, I'll go then. How many times have we said those things in our lives? Now, before we get into the main content, I just want to remind you that I stream live every Sunday at 7 PM and Tuesday at 10 AM at twitch.tv/mindsetbydave, and I would love to have you as part of our ever-growing community where we talk mindset and mental health, as well as playing some fun games. So if you've ever been guilty of saying the phrase, I'll start again on Monday, I know I have. I've probably said it more times than I can even remember. And it was only when I became a trainer that I started looking at things like that and looking at New Year's resolutions and thinking, why don't we just start again now? Working with people in habit change throughout the course of the last 5 years, I started seeing these patterns as to once a person went what they refer to as off track, which I don't like, but we'll get back to that in a minute, then they tend to be off track for a long period of time. And then the length of time between being off track and then starting that habit up again really dictates the person's success. Very few habit change journeys involve a straight up, cut off, I never do this thing ever again. For the vast majority of us, there will be setbacks, and how we deal with those setbacks is key in what our overall progress is. So for my clients, I came up with this concept of the reset button, and it is literally a button that we imagine. A huge, giant red button, the type that if you saw, that you would have no choice but to go up and just press it, with the word reset on it, which means that whenever we imagine that we are pressing that button, we get an opportunity to start again right now. If you imagine something that you're trying to do, let's say for example you're trying to spend less time on your phone. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you check social media, you may consider it that you've already failed that day. Now you've still got 16 hours of being awake where you could still spend less time on social media, but because that's happened first thing, the momentum goes in the direction of going towards the habit. And then as a result, the rest of the day, well, I've already failed, so I might as well plow on and I'll start again tomorrow, or even I'll start again on Monday, or I'll start again next year. Now, if we think about it, every New Year's resolution pretty much has a failure. And in fact, there's actually a day early in the year, which is statistically the most likely day for us to fail on our New Year's resolutions. They don't last the full year for the vast majority of people. So if you wait again till next year to take control of that thing again, and you failed in, say, February, that's 10.5 months of going back, reinforcing the habit that you're trying to get away from. Now, even if you were to hit that reset button 3 times throughout the year, you hit it again in May, you hit it again after that in October, that's still 3 steps in the right direction. But what I want to say to you today is that you can hit that reset button as often as you like. If the day hasn't gone so well, you don't have to wait till tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. You can decide, I'm going to start again right now. I haven't failed, I've just made a misstep. And this is why I don't like the phrase on track or off track, because often when people consider themselves off track, if you think about a train on a track, one wheel of that train goes off the track and it's catastrophic failure. The whole thing's coming off too. I prefer to think of it as on and off course. If you imagine a cruise liner heading for its destination, and if it nudges off course by 1 degree, that's only a problem if it stays off course for a long period of time. 1 degree off course for 10 minutes is no big problem. 1 degree off course for 10 hours, 10 days, 10 months. The problem gets bigger the longer it is off course for. And the same is true with on or off track, but when we go off track, we tend to throw everything else out. It's like that meme where it says, if you went outside and you saw you had a flat tire, you wouldn't slice the other 3 to match. But we do this as humans. When we go off track, we then sort of self-sabotage and throw everything else out with it. Let's say you're trying for a new eating and training routine. If one or the other of those goes off track, the other one tends to go with it. And at the same time, when we get one of them on track first thing in the morning, that builds up the momentum to go in the opposite direction, to go in the direction we want it to. But for success in anything that you're trying to achieve, the more often you can do those course corrections, the better it's going to be for you. We said a minute ago, if you course correct 3 times in a year, that's 3 more opportunities. Let's say you course correct once a month. That's another 9 opportunities on top of that. Once a week, it's another 40 opportunities on top of that. Once a day, we're into the 300s here. 310 more opportunities to actually correct things. And then when you actually divide that down and realize that you can reset as many times as you want in the day, let's say you attribute sleeping in to being that thing that sets your day in the wrong direction, and you decide, no, I don't want to settle for that anymore. You wake up late, and instead of the rest of that day going in the toilet, you go, you know what? Reset. I'm going to hit that reset button. The rest of the day is not a foregone conclusion. We just believe it to be, so it ends up being that way. When we change that narrative, when we realize the power that each one of us has inside of us to reset, restart, course correct at any given moment, we get an infinite number of opportunities to make that progress. So whatever has happened today or this week, or well, it's 2020 when I'm putting this video out, so let's face it, a lot has happened this year. This doesn't mean that the 4 months left of this year are a write-off. Even with the first sort of 8 heading that way, there is still 4 months of opportunity there. There is still a 2021 of opportunity. There is still opportunity in every single day to make some sort of forward step, to make some sort of change, to head towards the things that you want, to reset, to start all over and go again. And as soon as we start to tell ourselves that narrative, and then we start to feel like the badasses we are every time we follow that narrative, you're going to get there. As always, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you get some value from this content, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Also, one more time, I do stream on twitch.tv/mindsetbydave every Sunday evening at 7 PM and every Tuesday daytime at 10 AM. And I would love to have you come along, join in the conversation, and be part of the community. I will hopefully see you there soon.